Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're gonna stick with the fantasy football trend. We're gonna be talking about our matchups of the week.
Matchups of the week.
Would you like to start with your
The player that I really like this week, which I think is not an unpopular pick right now, Kirk Cousins against the Washington Redskins, for a myriad of reasons, a plethora of reasons.
some big words?
For starters, Kirk Cousins has been on fire the past 3 weeks. Against the Giants, he was money, 306 yards, 2 TDs. Against the Eagles, 333 yards, 4 TDs. Against the Lions, 337 yards, 4 TDs. Ever since all of that criticism against him kind of mounted and came to a head with Adam Thielen calling him out and him apologizing to Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins has been playing like the man Minnesota is paying him to be. And I think that that's something that can continue because we've seen Kirk Cousins play like this before. You know, for as much flack as he gets as being too mediocre, people forget that he'll have those stretches where he looks really, really legit.
He's like a rich man's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like he goes on these stretches where he looks unstoppable, but the lows are nearly not as low.
Oh, his lows are just like he's like
Average.
frustratingly slightly below average.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cousins' lows.
What time is he playing? That's because
he is playing tonight at 8:20 p.m.
That's the only thing that worries me. There was a very good article. I can't remember where I read it, but it detailed his need for routine and how his record.
Does he play worse on shorter weeks?
No, game time. 1 o'clock games, he's like 26-4. Other time, like 4 and 8:20 games, he's like 16 and 20 something.
Well, I'd say that's also probably because in prime time, he's not really going up against bad teams.
I heard in the article I read, it says something about him. Like he's very routine. He has to get up at a certain time, go to the bathroom at a certain time, eat his food. Like he does everything.
Oh, that's weird.
So when you shift that, like it messes with him when that schedule gets shifted.
Now, my counter argument to that is he's playing Washington.
That's true.
He's playing Washington.
More holes than Swiss cheese.
Washington is garbage. So bad. Also, let's say hypothetically, Kirk's having a bit of a rough day passing the ball. Oh, no problem. I'll just hand it off to Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Who, if Christian McCaffrey didn't exist right now, Dalvin Cook would be having the best running back season in the league.
Absolutely. I just think it's not going to – they're definitely going to win. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
But you don't think Kirk is going to have himself a time?
I don't think he's going to put up the exorbitant numbers. I also think because I really think they're going to get up big early, whether it's through the run game or not.
Yeah, that is very much a possibility. Like where
Dalvin
and Alexander Madison just kill them on the ground.
Like the first drive, they might just run it down for a touchdown, and then all of a sudden you're up 21, nothing going into halftime, and you're going, all right, let's pull back a little bit. We're not going to be throwing the 98-yard passes to Stephon Diggs down the middle,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a big part of it too.
It's at the same time, I mean, whatever they give them through the air, I think they're going to take at least early on,
I think it's a good pick though. I think that is a really good, I think it's a safe pick.
I think it's safe. I think it's safe. And with how he's been trending upwards, I also think Kirk Cousins is just a must own now with how he's been playing recently. I think you should at least stash him. I mean, I have Matt Ryan.
I just dropped Matt Ryan. Because unfortunately,
you dropped Matt Ryan.
He was questionable game time, and my other quarterback is on a bye, so I need someone who's sure to play. So I picked up Teddy Bridgewater, only to realize that Drew Brees might be playing this week.
You best make sure that you get Matt Ryan back.
He's on the waiver wire. I'm watching him closely, but he's not in the top 3 quarterbacks. So if you do a quick search, he doesn't pop up. So I'm hoping I'm gonna. That also I was supposed to get Aaron Rodgers, so that's why I dropped him to make room for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, and then the trade.
And then the trade got vetoed. Now I can't pick him up because there's a waiver time.
That's annoying. So, anyways, who's one of your players?
I was gonna say the guy I replaced for my quarterback this week because I need someone to play because Dak's gonna be my starter after this, baby. Depending on how Ryan Tannehill. That's right, you heard me. Ryan Tannehill, former Dolphins quarterback.
Spicy pick.
About to become the Tennessee Titans, or no, he is a Tennessee Titans starter. He has done that.
No, it's him. It's his job.
I mean, immediately
the offense looked
he had rhythm and zip on the ball. He was actually hitting wide open receivers for once with their ground attack with Derrick Henry. I mean, it's a very dangerous combination. In the 1.5 games he's played, 1.25.
Yeah, really like 1.5.
He's averaged 9.0 to 10.8 yards per attempt in his 2 games. I mean, they have a very balanced game. The Bucs secondary has given up the 6th most fantasy points to quarterbacks.
The Buccaneers secondary is terrible.
So, I mean, it looks like revitalized offense with a new quarterback, dangerous running game that is probably going to get stopped to a certain point with that defense.
Mm-hmm.
But their secondary is so weak, I don't see how he doesn't take advantage. Especially with A.J. Brown, another guy I would say keep an eye on in your flex spots, because that Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary is begging to get burned. They really are.
Yeah.
So Tannehill to Brown might be a big connection coming up very soon. I mean, do you have any other locks you would like to lock in?
I do. I'm going to say that I think if you have anybody on the Green Bay Packers, you should probably start them. And by that, I mean, I'm not talking about Alan Lazard. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Aaron Jones, and Jamal Williams, Allison. I just think that Aaron Rodgers is just going to rip this Kansas City defense apart. I especially think that the running backs, Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, are going to have big games because, I mean, we've seen that the Packers like getting them both involved. I mean, Aaron Jones, it's clearly Jones's backfield. But like even 2 weeks ago, Jamal Williams was the more productive back. They got a fairly equal amount of touches, and that's not even taking away anything from Aaron Jones. It's just that they're willing, if both of them are producing on a given day, they're not just going to say, okay, we're going to give only Aaron Jones the ball.
No, I think you're absolutely right with that. They definitely use the hot hand.
And Kansas City's rushing defense is the worst in the NFL.
Do you think they regret trading away Dee Ford? I do.
Yes.
Especially with what that line has become.
Yes.
I mean,
what has Frank Clark done?
Exactly.
What has he done?
What is that defense done? That defense is horrible.
It's really bad. And it's a shame because Kansas City's defense, I mean, their defense was really, really good only a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly. No,
they had
absolutely.
one of the best defenses in the league. And now, I mean, their offense is dynamite. Andy Reid is their coach, so obviously they're always going to.
They have Tyrann Mathieu. They have the Honey Badger.
They did. I mean, the thing with the Honey Badger now is that he's not the guy he was.
I know, but
just
like
because of all those injuries.
You hear the headline, "Oh, they traded for, they signed," and it's like, "Oh wow, that's a really good defense."
Oh yeah, but I mean, just a few acquisitions does not a defense make.
Oh no, absolutely, I agree with that 100%. I do have to throw out one more wide receiver. I hate to do it to you, but Galladay from Detroit playing against your Giants had an abysmal week last week.
Yeah, only one. What was it? 1 catch, 21 yards. Was that it?
I believe it was 3 points. That's all that matters. It was 3 points.
1 catch, 21 yards. Yeah.
The last time he did that was against Philadelphia earlier this season, and the game after that, he went and put up 23.7 points.
He's really only had 2 bad games.
Absolutely,
but they were both bad games.
Absolutely, against
1 for 21 against the Vikings and 2 for 17 against the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then every other game, 4 for 42 and 1, 8 for 117 and 1, 5 for 67 and 2, 5 for 121.
Yeah, exactly. So I look for him to have a bounce back game, especially with all the attention Marvin Jones Jr. got last week with all the touchdowns.
4 TDs.
I would
for
see
Mr. Jones.
Could see the defense keying in on him a lot more. Also, might be some upset about not spreading the ball around. I would look for him to have a huge weekend.
Someone is going to have a big day for Detroit, and I don't know who it is. All I know is someone's gonna.
It's a flip of the coin, and I think Marvin Jones Jr.'s last week heroics are like impressive outing.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns.
That's gonna make. I think if I'm the Giants, I'm keying in on him then.
I mean, I don't think that's going to be a part of the Lions' game plan going forward. Like, obviously, Galladay is the number 1 target.
I mean, you might see defenses shade more towards Jones Jr. until Galladay proves that he can beat them.
How we've been playing recently is Janoris Jenkins has been on an island. Janoris Jenkins is man-on-man with their best receiver. Okay. DeAndre Baker is one-on-one with the second best receiver. So how the look will probably go is Janoris Jenkins will be on Kenny Golladay and DeAndre Baker will be on Marvin Jones. The thing is, DeAndre Baker has been very good.
And Jenkins is.
Janoris Jenkins, well, he'll have his moments. Janoris Jenkins plays very well when he wants to. The thing is, I think Kenny Golladay can have a day on Janoris Jenkins.
I've only seen a few of the Giants games this year. I haven't caught that many, but the times I have watched, it's Jenkins getting burned.
Yeah, Jackrabbit will get cooked. If someone's getting cooked, odds are it's him.
So,
if it's any of our, I mean, also a lot of our corners are just not good. We just don't have a good defense, period.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough spot to be in. I feel like that's a lot of the league right now, but those are our locks. We got Golladay, Tannehill, Cousins, and your Green Bay Packers. Possibly A.J. Brown if you're feeling frisky.
Yeah, I would say A.J. Brown or Corey Davis.
Would you say DK Metcalf going against Arizona?
Every week.
I'm sorry. They're not playing Arizona. They're playing Atlanta. That's even better.
Even better. Yeah, I mean,
that's
Russell
another.
Wilson could have himself a day.
And who
he probably will. He's the MVP favorite at the moment.
And who can honestly stand with DK Metcalf on that defense? I think the only person in that stadium who could cover him is Larry Fitzgerald, to be completely honest, with his size.
I mean, they'll probably have like Byron Murphy on him.
I don't know. That's another. I mean, there's a few games this week that might just be absolute blowouts.
I am starting DK Metcalf in my money league, mostly because I have to.
I have him in my flex, but I'm debating whether it's him or AJ Brown. But right now, it's him in the flex.
Yeah.
So
I think DK Metcalf. I mean, every week I think DK Metcalf is the threat to have a big play.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like it's
last week if he didn't fumble it at the very end,
you're always rolling the dice with him.
Would have been a huge right if he doesn't fumble that play at the very end of the game. He has a huge. He ends up with a really decent game, but the fumble loses him points. I think he ended up with like 5.
Yeah,
he would have had like closer to 10.
Yeah,
which would have been a good outing. So, yeah, those are the guys you should probably keep an eye on. If you have them on your bench, you might be a little sorry at the end of the week.
You might be a little sorry.
Don't say
we didn't warn you.
We did.
We did.